Hi, this is Sharian. I thought I would come on this evening to talk to you all for a few minutes about how to stay motivated when you do not feel motivated, or how to get motivated and stay motivated. Question: have you ever had something that happened to you where you felt like you've been sucker punched? Well, today I've had one of those days. I felt like I've been sucker punched a couple of times. In the meantime, what did I do after I got sucker punched? Well, I decided to take my time and breathe. Number one, breathe. Did I follow all of the steps that I feel that I normally take when I get sucker punched? Well, not necessarily in the order that I would have wanted to, but I can tell you this. I made a point to be still, to hear what God would want me to do, to listen to the voice of God. I made a point to slow my roll and not make too rash of a decision. Next thing I did was I decided to breathe. I decided to even go to Bible study and make a point to focus on Bible study. And I must admit, it was not easy today, but I did it as best I could. What happened today? Well, I'm not at liberty to go into what happened today, but suffice it to say, it was not an easy day. It's one of those days when you say, Lord, must it be me? And then I had to come to terms with, why not you, Sharian? And you have to deal with what comes when it comes. So that's what I did. That's why it's always good to be ready. You got to be ready. You have to have your mindset. Some people say, well, how do you get your mindset? Well, one of the ways I get my mindset is I've made a decision. I made a decision not to get too anxious or too worried when things come up. I work at remembering to breathe, remembering to trust God, and keep giving it to God. Keep reminding myself that God has got this, Sharian. And the reality of it is that he does. The problem comes in is when I try to take on things I cannot control. And what I've learned, I cannot control people, places, and things. I only control my thoughts and my actions. And being that I control my thoughts and my actions, that helps to keep my mood and my blood pressure under control. Did my blood pressure go up? A little. But what it didn't do was an extreme. Because today I made a conscious choice to not allow my mind to just go haywire, just whatever would fall into my thoughts. I said, no, we're not doing that anymore. I'm trusting God. I don't like some things that have happened, but that's okay. Am I afraid? Not necessarily. No. Why? I'm trusting God. Is it easy? I didn't say it was easy. I said I'm trusting God. I'm believing in him. My faith is in him. If I put my faith in myself, I ought to be real scared. But I'm putting my faith in what I can do with God, not faith in Sherry when what Sherry can do only on her own. I'm trusting God. So my suggestion to anyone when they're trying to make a decision about how to stay motivated, number one, make a decision that you're not going to control or attempt to control situations that are out of your control. Events that happen, don't try to control it by arguing over it. Do not try to control it by blowing your stack. Do not try to control it by putting a lid on it. Let it go. Next thing, what you cannot control and cannot fix, don't fix your thoughts on it. Put your thoughts on the things that you have control over. And that's what I did today. I needed to go pick up a prescription. I needed to buy a few things from the grocery store, or should I say I wanted to. And that's what I got done. Went to the grocery store, went to the pharmacy, turned in paperwork to the government at that, and I came home. And I decided to let the situation that I cannot control go. And believe me, I had some thoughts that kept coming to my mind, but I decided to focus on what was scheduled. What was scheduled was Bible study. And was these other situations important? They're important. But if I cannot do anything about it, why think about it? There is a verse in the Bible, in Philippians 4:8. It tells you what to think about. It's whatever things are good, true, honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report. If it has any virtue and have any praise, think about it. And I had a couple of things that happened today. Oh, the word is true. It truly happened. The report wasn't really good. Oh, it was honest. Virtue? I don't know about all the virtue. Praiseworthy? I don't know if I would call it praiseworthy. Just? Maybe. The reality of it is, I don't have to continue to think about it. So, I get to put that thought, a couple of thoughts, on the shelf. Pick it up later when I can do something about it. Until then, leave it in the box. Maybe God has something that He wants me to do with it later. But as for now, I get to put it to the side. Next thing, forgiveness. Oh yes, I had to forgive myself for not being perfect. Did I say that? Let me say it again. I have to forgive myself for not being perfect. We all make mistakes, but just because we make mistakes doesn't make us a mistake. I've made some mistakes. Didn't dot an I when the I was supposed to be dotted. Or maybe I crossed that T, but I missed that I. And sometimes when you miss dotting an I or crossing a T, it comes back. It's the issue with the reaping and the sowing. You want to reap, but you got to sow the right type of seeds. So whether you intentionally did it or oops, made a mistake and didn't get it done, if it's not done, later on when you find out a certain fruit you wanted that you didn't get, oh, you got to go back and look and see what seeds you put down. And the reality of it is, you're going to get the fruit of the seeds you planted. And let it be okay if you miss planting the seed. Maybe you can plant it next time. Or you get to tell someone else about the seed you didn't plant and the result of not planting it. Because there is such a thing as reaping and sowing. There's also such a thing as, what do they call it? Event plus response equal outcome. Example, it rained today. Well, it didn't, but just suppose it rained. And I have straight hair versus my natural hair. Not only straight, but I hot combed it so it was lying flat. And I decided to go in the rain, knowing I wanted my hair to stay nice, straight, and dry. But I go out in the rain without a rain bonnet, something to protect my hair. And I come back and look like this, or something close. Well, the reality of it is, if I wanted to maintain straight hair before I go in the rain, I need to put the rain bonnet on. Put the rain bonnet on if you want straight hair. If you don't mind it frizzing back up, just let it go. But whatever you do, you will live with whatever you put in place. I decided to put joy in place too today. Not only did I put joy in place, I also decided to put in place that I would make a decision to be not only humble with what's going on, but also, what is the word? Joy, peaceful about it. And I am not going to allow a situation to destroy or ruin my day. It's not good to let any person, place, or thing or situation ruin your day. Yeah, I've done it before. Done it many times. But you know, when you learn better, you do better. Now, it may shake it up a little, but it does not have to control my day. When you allow God to control your day, when you allow God to control your day, then it doesn't matter what happened during the day. Because when God controls your day, He will help you maintain the ship of your mind. He will help you maintain that garden, but it'll still produce some fruit of love, joy, and peace. And you can smile in spite of everything not going your way. Because everything doesn't go your way. And if it does, you need to look and see what's going on. Because sometimes stuff happens. And if you don't deal with the stuff will deal with you. Have a good night.